How many of you out there ever go to Zillow to look up either your home value or what's on the market? Today, we're going to tell you why not the right thing to do. So,
Alan and Betsy.
coming to you from coastal Virginia, Zillow. They are the 800-pound gorilla elephant in the room when it comes to looking for homes. Give you a little history on how that happened. If you look back at Zillow, the thing they did very well before anybody else could do it was they made it easy to look at houses.
You know what? So easy. You don't have to put your email in for them to find you. That's why my clients just this week said it's their favorite portal to search on. And I said, yes, that's everybody's because of that.
They put in millions of dollars of studying psychology and human dynamics and how they search and what's happening. They've done a great job of building a place to look for homes. However, what we need you to understand is it is not the best place to be when you're really looking for homes. Now, if you're that casual observer that everybody likes to go search for homes, sometimes that's just a scroll thing that anybody can do. Hey, what did my neighbor's house go on the market for? Not that I'm going to move, but I just want to know what's happening out there. And you want to go search, say, oh, that's a gorgeous house over there. I wonder what that costs. And they go and look. Great place just for fun, casual to go do it. But if you are a real seller or a buyer, it is not the place to be. Today, we're going to tell you why. Well, I got a list here of 20 reasons why Zillow is just flat out evil. So let me tell you. The first one is the Zestimate. How many of you get your Zestimate on your house, says your house is worth this much? Well, just so you know, the president of Zillow one time listed his house and ended up selling it for almost 20%, 18.9% less than what his Zestimate said it was worth. How valuable was that Zestimate? Not at all. Now, we think it is so bad that we are now, when we go in on listings and Betsy goes to an appointment, I made my team put a new column in my ops meeting on what the Zestimate is the day she goes out there versus the day that we actually sell it. We had one last year that we sold it for $136,000 more than their Zestimate. Now, I'd gladly take that $136,000 because we hear all the time, well, my Zestimate says, well, if we'd have sold that for what the Zestimate said, they would have lost $136,000.
Yes. And what always cracks me up about the whole Zestimate thing is, do you know when we list a house, the day that we list a house, what happens to the Zestimate?
It changes miraculously to what our list price is. So who do you think that Zillow puts value in? Their Zestimate or the agent in the field on the street? Because here's the thing. Zillow and their Zestimate has never been in your damn house. Guess what? They look at it and tell me this. I can have two exact spec houses built by the same builder, same week, closed, same floor plan. They just flipped them. And guess what? This one's lived in for 10 years. This one's been lived in for 10 years too. This one hasn't upgraded or changed a thing in the 10 years. This one has put in all new countertops, all new flooring, all new decor, put a pool in, built a fire pit, did all these things. And you know what the Zestimate says for both of them? The exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, rule number one, Zestimates suck. Next.
Well, that does crack me up because I was actually in a house this week, very, very educated clients. And he said to me, Betsy, we're really concerned because our Zestimate actually went down this week. And I looked at him and I went, did you say your Zestimate went down this week? And he goes, yes. And I went, do I look like I give a shit what your Zestimate says? And he goes like this, apparently not. I said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to get off of the Zillow website. And he goes, I just always assumed that was the most accurate. And I said, why? And he goes, because I don't have to put my email in for them and nobody's going to call me. I said, okay. I said, I get it. That is the most brilliant reason anybody has ever told me they search on Zillow before.
Right.
Because that's the only person that's ever told me that that's the reason they search on Zillow. I love that.
Right.
And I said, I get it. I said, understood. I said, but here's the thing. I said, you do realize that you're looking at houses that are sold, and they say they're not. I said, you're looking at houses that,
Right.
you're going to tell me your house is worth well underneath of what it is. You have come into this home, you've spent $100,000 redoing it, and Zillow does not even know that. So it's telling you your house is worth this, and you're telling me
Right.
I'll list it for that.
Right. Yeah, we'll list it. There's lots of people will list their house for Zillow and sell at their estimate and sell it the next day. Not the best thing.
Yeah.
So, next thing, bait and switch. Can
Oh
you say
my
bait and
gosh.
switch? Here's the deal. Almost everybody that when a consumer goes there, lots of times they either already have an agent or they want to talk to the listing agent, because guess who understands what's going on with the house, the sellers, what's in the house, what all the extra questions they have that aren't in the text on there. Guess what? They want to talk to the listing agent. And guess what? You rarely ever get to the listing agent. And here's why. Zillow takes the data that they get from the agents that are listing the properties, they put it out there, they repackage it, and they sell it to other agents, to what's either called Zillow Flex or Zillow Premier agents. Zillow Premier agents pay for the leads up front. Zillow Flex agents pay up to, pretty much most of the time, a 40% referral fee. Now, let me explain some basic economics. If an agent is having to give up 40% of their commission immediately off the top, typically Zillow Flex with leads with 40% only go to teams. So there's a team agent, which means then it's getting split. Let's use as an example, 50-50. So typically where an agent might have made $10,000, 4,000 goes to Zillow. There's 6,000 left. It's 50-50. The agent gets 3,000. Now, if an agent gets $3,000 compared to $10,000, first, are you getting the best agents going to work for less than a third of what they normally would? No. And what do you think the experience level is of those agents? And what do you think their focus is going to be? Are they going to be a relationship building agent, or are they going to be a transactional agent that has to do
Churn and burn.
3 times as many? So Zillow's
You're just a number.
program deliberately bait and switches consumers. In fact, they're in a lawsuit right now that is going on about doing that exact thing. Now, the next thing, Betsy mentioned it briefly, was when houses go under contract and are pending, are they changed in Zillow right away?
No.
No. We have what's called data latency, meaning they don't get those kind of updates because different MLSs report differently. In our market, we can see when a house is under contract with a contingency on it, but to Zillow, they still look active because there's a contingency. Their site doesn't allow for that. So lots of times you're calling about a house that you're ready to go see, and guess what? It's got a contract on it already. So,
Or it's sold.
or it's sold. Right.
I mean, they're completely closed. Sold.
Now, the other reason that I think it's really wrong, does Zillow tell everybody that they're getting 40% to refer them
No.
to a specific agent? No, it's not disclosed. And in fact, one of the key things that was in front of NAR recently was whether that should be disclosed, because when the NAR lawsuit happened about commissions and disclosures and how they were paid, Zillow didn't get brought into it, even though they technically are a broker all across the country, but they didn't get brought into the lawsuit because they don't do contracts, listings, or sales specifically themselves, yet they take in 40%. They are one of the highest paid brokers in the nation, but they're excluded from being treated like a broker.
Crazy.
Now,
Crazy.
scams. Oh my gosh. Now, the thing about being at the top, which Zillow is, the most viewed site out there, is they get targeted by scams, rental scams.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
That
my
is-
gosh.
It's ridiculous.
If we are constantly, if you ever have a property that goes on there for a rental, you will get called so many times by so many rental scams because it's an easy target. So many people can see them. Whole nother story there. Then loss of control for the sellers. If your house goes onto Zillow, which most of them do,
Because they want to be, because they don't want to miss the traffic through Zillow, even though I hate Zillow and I wish all of my listings would come off of Zillow.
right? If it were up to us personally, for our sellers, we would recommend you actually don't go on Zillow. And I'll tell you why. That's another one of my points here. But the loss of control is when the data and the photos go up to Zillow, you lose control, and it can be difficult to get things changed in a timely manner. Things that change in the MLS, like the price, that's an easy change. Photos, not an easy change to get done. Other parts of it that you might want to change, sometimes Zillow doesn't have a quick way to change that, so you lose control. The other thing, pay to play visibility. Zillow came up with something a year or two ago called showcase listing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That was such a scam.
So showcase listing said, hey, if you are a listing agent, you can pay to put your listing into showcase listing. In fact, our corporate entity, the agency, actually got a package deal and gave us a whole presentation. We even thought, let's try a Zillow thing.
Because it's going to be great for our sellers. They told us that it would be great for our sellers, so we did it.
That they actually presented it. When it was presented to us, it was presented that this is a way for you as the listing agent to get the buyers to contact you directly. So we put 2 of them up, paid for it, put them up there.
Expensive.
Guess what? We didn't get the calls directly. They still spun the calls off to Zillow Flex teams and said, well, you have a higher probability because you're up here. And this shouldn't have been presented
We
that you were
even called
guaranteed.
the agent directly
Yeah.
and got a call from a Zillow agent.
And got a call from a Zillow agent. We tested it. Call the agent directly means call a agent directly, not the listing agent.
It said call the listing agent
Yeah, so
directly.
we had tons of problems, bailed on that quickly. Another Zillow situation, pay to
They
play.
even gave us our money back because
And
we
they put in all of these statistics about how Zillow showcase listings sell faster and get more views. Well, they get more views on Zillow, but more views just like on YouTube. Now, what we need you to do is like us, love us, subscribe to us. But it's more about people that spend the time on there and are really interested. If somebody just views, we don't go pay bots to give us views and do all these things. We don't care about the count of views. The count of views on Zillow don't matter either. There are houses that have had hundreds of thousands of views that haven't sold yet. So guess what? If it was purely about views, I understand, and they promote that. That's not the topic. But since we are going ahead and talking about some of these other things, let's talk a little bit about how Zillow is trying to be a middleman in the whole situation. A couple of years ago now, Zillow acquired one of the best CRMs out there, Follow Up Boss, that many large teams and top agents use. But Zillow acquired it. So Zillow now owns Follow Up Boss. Now, I want you to understand something. They recently, on November 15th this year.
What is a CRM? For the
Okay,
people who
I'm
don't know
sorry.
what it is.
CRM is a contact relationship management program that we as agents put all of our data about our clients in. What they like, what they want, what their personal situation is. They're going through a divorce, they're doing this, they're doing their birthdays, their kids' names. We have all kinds of data.
So
that
for
we keep.
example, if you're a Zillow person, when you are going to call the person, you actually have to do it through the CRM.
Right.
To
So
make content.
the CRM is what we keep so much, and we are very secure with our data and how we do it. We don't share it with anybody. We don't share it with our vendors. If our vendors want to send a letter to our contact database, we actually have them write the letter and we send it, so they never have access to our data because we protect it.
Yes.
Well, what Zillow has now done is Zillow has said, well, we own the CRM that many top teams do. So they put in a new licensing agreement as of November 15th last year that said, hey, if anybody in your CRM has ever been to Zillow or comes to Zillow, we now have access to all of their data and we can utilize it to market. Well, Guess what that means? Okay, everybody goes to Zillow and looks. I've been on Zillow before.
Me too.
Everybody goes to Zillow and looks at houses. That means that if you ever have done that, or you go there to just look at something, they now have access to everything in the CRM, which many of those teams record their phone calls in there because it has a recording conversation.
They have their contracts in there.
They have their contracts in there. They have all kinds of information on motivation. Zillow has said, well, they've been to Zillow. We have their information anyway. They have their phone number, their email, and their name, maybe their home address. They don't have all the data that we have. So we made a conscious decision that we removed every bit of data we could from Follow Up Boss and killed it before the November 15th deadline
Which
date.
was every bit of data.
So that Zillow did not have access to it. Now, all of those flex teams and all of those teams that are using Follow Up Boss, if you go through Zillow, guess what? They have access to all of that. The flex teams that are getting leads from Zillow, mandatory that they use Follow Up Boss, mandatory that they record the phone calls. Zillow has an entire team to listen to those phone calls and determine how good that agent is being in sales and closing rates and appointments. So guess what? It's
including recommending you to use their mortgage company, which is why they have a current
another lawsuit
because
they found out that many people are reporting, the agents are reporting, that if they didn't use Zillow Home Loans or didn't recommend them in the phone calls, that they are now getting penalized by getting less leads, worse leads. So Zillow has said, hey, we're going to totally control. Talk about Big Brother out there.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
insane.
So we made a decision to totally eliminate Follow Up Boss, totally eliminate Zillow because of how they look at the clients as a number, and their goal is to get every dime they can out of the transaction into Zillow. So we've made those decisions. Now, can't even see. So I told you I could talk about this one for a long time. Then the next big thing we have is the quality of the agents that are getting the Zillow leads. We talked briefly about how typically they go to a team. It is not about the level of service that they give. It's about one thing, speed to lead. How fast did you call the lead back? Is it within seconds? Is it within 5 minutes? Or was it an hour later? With us, when we're with somebody, we're with somebody. That is our client at that moment. We could be in an hour. Betsy can be in a 2-hour listing appointment. And guess what? She's not going to call you back if you call. Now, we have systems and we have a team to help support us. But we firmly believe that our clients are more about the quality, the level of service they get from us than they are about speed to lead on one phone call. These agents get rated on speed to lead. The next thing that happens, these agents get rated on is their closing percentage. They're listening to the phone calls. They say to coach the agent into better, but really they're trying to close agents. We're not trying to close the deals faster and more significant. What do you always say about yourself? You're not the yes agent?
Oh, no, I'm the no agent.
And believe me, she's no. I hear it all the time. But I get no more than anybody does. But she will tell clients no.
Oh yeah, I mean there's definitely, a lot of that is because we're not about the paycheck today. We're about them being happy so that they refer their next 5 people to us.
We say we're not worried about every dollar of every deal that comes in. We want to be relationship rich.
Yeah.
Relationship rich is a whole different concept of we want to be people's most referred real estate agent. And we want that reason to be because of the quality of service we give, not because of the speed to lead.
I mean, these people who say past clients, there's no such thing as a past client.
Yeah. We banned it. I walked into a meeting the other day. I said, we have no past clients. Past clients does not exist for us anymore. People are clients. They're either actively searching or they're not, but they're always clients.
I mean, it's always about doing the right thing.
Yep.
I mean, these people, it amazes me that people can't always do the right thing.
Right. So today I could talk about this for an hour.
Oh, this isn't an hour-long
But
conversation.
here's what we
please.
want you
we
to
could
know.
talk about Zillow for 2 weeks because we can't
Yeah.
stand Zillow.
So here's the deal. Zillow is evil. That's all you got to remember. Alan and Betsy, Thompson and Partners, we are good. There's difference. So until next time, Alan,
And Betsy.
see you soon.